Well, 2025, man, that is just about in the rear view mirror. Wow, that was fast. Where does the time go? And it's got me thinking, as 2026 looms and I'm shopping for Christmas presents, I wonder how 2025 was. What did I learn? What did I experience that was good? What did I experience that was less than good? And I thought, let's chart the wins and the losses. Hey, Granny Gear here for Old Guy on a Bike. Every team has them, every business has them, every individual has them, and this channel has them too. You get some wins, you get some losses. Some videos do really well, others, not so much. That's the way it goes. But I've been thinking about the things in 2025 that I learned, that I tried. Maybe it might be a product or it might have been an experience that I had. Some of them were really great. Most of them were. Some weren't. And going into 2026 with, well, I can't talk about it much right now. It's not the time, but big changes in Granny Gear, household and life and whatnot. Let's start off with some of the things in 2025 that, well, we'll see if it was a win or a loss. To begin with, there are products that I've come to just rely on, that I can trust, that I know work for me. A couple of them were introduced to me in 2025, but mostly they're things I've been using for a while. But for some of the nutritional products, well, I got better at using them. So it's been a bit of a journey. For instance, the Prungo Red Light Therapy Module. This is a red light therapy for helping your body heal, reduce inflammation. You got a boo-boo, you strain something, you put these little modules on, turn them on, and it helps you feel better. And that was something I had bought long before Prungo, the company that makes the Prungo unit, reached out to me and said, we'd like to work with you. And I said, well, I already own one of these things. I love it. I use it all the time. I'd like to work with you too. And that relationship has been really good. And I did a video on it. I do have an affiliate link with the discount code in the description. I was just using one of those the other night, and that has been part of my regimen. You know, as you get older, recovering from harder rides and strains and pains and things, that's a challenge. The Prungo unit has made that better. For me, that is a win. And then there's stuff I put in my body. Two things stand out. One is Element, LMNT. Man, I've been using that for years now. I swear by it, so does Mrs. Granny Gear. It is our electrolyte drink mix go-to, not just for riding, but for life. For me, that continues to be a win, even in 2025. Part of my nutritional fueling for being on the bike is Fluid Performance Drink Mix. That's where I get carbs. So a little bit of electrolytes, mostly carbohydrates though. I mix that up, different strengths depending upon what I'm doing. And that, along with the Element, has been super solid for me, even on some very difficult events over 2025. Another win. So this year when I was training for some big rides, I did a lot more what they call Zone 2 training, kind of endurance riding on purpose, where you keep your heart rate within a specified zone and you do a long ride on purpose. That was super, super effective. And I did a video on that too and how that worked out for me. You can check that out. I'll try and put links in the description to all the videos. That was superb for me. So for that, I'm going to call that a win for this old guy. This was also the year, 2025, when I began to question just how hard do I want to push myself in some kind of challenging event, well, like the death ride. And it had me thinking, and I did a video on that too, on like, when am I done doing hard things? And what is hard? How do you put that in perspective? Well, I'm still working on that, but 2025, in the sense where I didn't feel like I was bulletproof anymore, not sure if that's a win. I think I'll call that a loss.
You'll be high and troubles out of sight, so don't you hang around that viper in the night.
Then we have the stuff for the bike. One I've been using for years, and that is the Smooth Lube line of wax-based chain lubes. I did a video on that very recently. It was very well received. A lot of you guys ordered from him. that was great to see, and I've heard back from quite a few of you, and with good results. I've been using the 5311 formula. I'll link my video on it, and you can go watch that. But yeah, that has been a win in 2025, along with one of the, well, probably the best tubeless tire sealant I've ever used. And I've used most of the major brands out there. Some I didn't use because I heard they weren't any good. A lot of the other ones I tried, they always had something about them that kind of let me down. They clogged up, or they dried out fast, or whatever, there was something. Well, Joe's No Flats Super Sealant is the best sealant I have ever used. I'm on the gravel bike right now. I'm looking down at one of the best gravel bike tires I've ever used. And in 2025, I kind of hooked up with Kenda Tires, and they sent me a sample of the Kenda Crusher in a 45 and a 50 size. And I've been running the 45s ever since. That was like spring. I haven't taken them off. I did Rebecca's Private Idaho in them. I did the Mammoth Tough in them. I've just used them everywhere I've been riding. And there's two things that came of that, actually. Let me pull over here. Two things that came of that, besides the fact that I like it so much that it superseded any other tire that I've used so far. And I haven't used all of them, but I love this tire. But it also kind of cemented in my mind that a 45 to a 50, I think, is the sweet spot for a gravel bike tire for just about any use, because it can do almost anything and do a good job of it. It's not too slow for the road, pretty good in the dirt, even in rough situations. I know the trend is to go bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, I kind of sampled that in a way, and that was, well, we'll get to that loss right now. You've seen all the hubbub about taking a hardtail mountain bike with a, low travel fork, 100 millimeter or whatever, and throwing drop bars on it and pronouncing it blessed. Well, I got a chance to ride an example of the genre, and it didn't bless me. In fact, it really surprised me, because I thought to myself, hey, granny gear, I'll bet you'd love owning a bike just like that. But when I rode it, I didn't love it. And it had me thinking about the entire genre. Now, I'm not talking about something specifically designed to be a gravel bike with suspension. The jury's still out on that. You've seen like the Trek has I don't even know what it's called. The Trek that's got the front and rear suspension, small. That's an interesting thing. We'll see how that goes. I think it's going to be very niche. We shall see. But back to the drop bar mountain bike. It proved to me that you just can't take a fast hardtail 29-iron mountain bike, put drop bars on it, and call it bueno. It just didn't come together. And I think for most people, except for a very limited experience that somebody might be having, like some ultra endurance race or something like that, no, for me, well, it may have bursted a bubble I had. It saved me money, and that was a loss for 2025, or maybe since I didn't spend money on one, well, maybe that's a win. 2025 was also the year that the Turner Ven came into my life, which gave me a platform for a fabulous bike packing rig. And I just did a recent video on that. You can see that here. It's titanium. It's lovely. It's handy. It's got all the bells and whistles on it and all the mounts and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's going to be a fabulous bike to ride. And so for me, 2025, the Turner Ven as a bike packing exploration bike, that was a win. But it's also a loss, because despite how good that bike was, by the time I got it all built up and went through all the different changes and whatnot, it was late in the year, and well, frankly, I didn't make the time to go use it. So while it's an amazing bike, I didn't use it, and that's a loss. 2025, I rolled the dice and wrote a pretty big check for a very fancy bike, a specialized SL8 Tarmac S-Works, SRAM red, and all the bells and whistles. And that was based on the thought that even though I'm an old guy, I think I'd like to have a fast road bike in my stable of bikes. And you know what? I do. The more I ride that bike, the more I like it. And yes, I gambled, I rolled the dice, I wrote the check. And for me, in 2025, that fast Tarmac SL8 S-Works gem of a bike, that is a win. What wasn't a win? Well, the bike it replaced, which was my Time 80HX, which was a fine all-road kind of bike. And by the way, that bike, it's in great condition. It's hanging on the wall. I'd love to sell that to somebody who'd love to own it. So if you're interested in my Time 80HX, as you see it here, well, it's in pristine condition. You hit me up with an email on this channel. And if I've sold it already and this video is going to get old at some point, I'll pin a comment, tell you, never mind, somebody else got it before you did. But the ADHX, and I guess that's a lose. That's a loss for the time, because much as I liked riding that bike, if I'm going to ride the road bike, for me, that tarmac is what I'm going to pick 9 times out of 10. 2025, near the end, also showed the return of the mountain bike in my cycling life. You know, mountain biking, that was all I ever did. And then I didn't do as much of it. And then for the last few years, I really haven't done any of it. So I'm back to it, and I'm finding a lot of joy in that. I'm learning to do it better than probably I ever did. No, I'm not as fast or as brave, but doesn't mean I can't still learn to ride a bike better than I am now. I'm really enjoying, I'm looking forward to that in 2026 and doing a lot more mountain biking. And what's the loss, you might say? Well, the loss is it's cutting into my time riding my gravel bike and my road bike because I keep slicing the pie thinner. Is that a loss? Well, it is for the other bikes, isn't it? They're getting lonely.
When you hang around that old Viperman.
You know, technology for content creators like myself, boy, is that taking some leaps forward, isn't it? Like the DJI action cam I'm using right here. Fabulous piece of kit. Well, the 360 camera craze caught my eye, and I spent big for a Insta360 camera, the X5, and that has been quite a disappointment for me, actually. Yes, the results of the filming of it, I mean, the actual video it produces is very useful. I use it on the Death Ride, and I was able to just turn it on and get, lots of views, 360 cameras. But the mounting of it and the weight of it and that big old long pole to make it work right, and what I'm finding, frankly, is I don't even get it out of the drawer anymore. So I guess I'll call that, despite all the technological wizardry, I guess that's a loss. Another win for me in 2025, my Coros Dura cycling computer. I don't push my cycling computer super hard in that. I'm not doing advanced mapping or training or, site training peak software and all that, all those split lap things. I don't even know I don't even know what to do with that. So I don't use that. But for the things that matter to me, just having a computer that routes well, that's reliable, that has ridiculously long battery life in case I forget to charge it, that just works, is solid. For me, the Coros Dura has been fabulous. I think now the whole year I used that. I think I charged it 4 times. And most of the time it had like 40% battery life. I just thought, well, you're supposed to charge things, right? Coros Dura, if you're interested in a computer that's super, super good, for those people that forget to charge things, it's a great product. That's a win. 2025, I also started using a heart rate monitor a whole lot more because I really hadn't used something like that for years. Really got better when I used my Coros Dura paired with a Coros armband, a heart rate strap, instead of the big chesty straps. Wow, that was really cool. So for me, heart rate based training in 2025, that made a lot of sense. And for me, that was a win. And I always wondered, do I want a power meter? I don't think so. Only thing a power meter is going to tell me is, I don't make any power. But I got a chance to try it. When I bought my fancy tarmac, Specialized tarmac, came with a power meter. And I thought, hey, there you go. Maybe I'll love that thing. You know what I found out? I don't love that thing. I really still have no use for that. I don't know what in the world to do with it. And, well, I guess it maybe isn't a loss because it just came with the bike. But if I'd bought one just for that, it would have been a loss. The last thing of 2025 that could be a win or a loss, and that is doing this channel. It's been a win for me in lots and lots of ways. I still enjoy doing it. It's been fun meeting some of you. It's been fun hearing from you. I appreciate all the comments. I try and respond to most of the comments, either with a reply or a thumbs up or a something, just because if you've taken the time to reply, well, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's been a few knuckleheads, not very many, who I might have to spank here and there, but generally you guys are well, and gals are well behaved and helpful in your comments, and I really, really appreciate that. It's been nice organic growth, and so far, I ain't got tired of it. I'm still enjoying doing it. And when I'm not enjoying doing it anymore, I'll probably stop. Until then, I'll look forward to seeing you here on YouTube. Is there a loss to that? Let me think. Nope.
Maybe I'll hang around that old vibe of mine.